Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today, we are celebrating another milestone. Not only is it a new year and a new episode, we have new props, and it is episode number 50. Episode number 50. Let's freaking go, everybody. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour, one brain cell. Follow us on the social media. I'm going to do this at the start because it's, it's a new year. Okay. It's a brand new year. So we can do things differently and we can change things up for 2025.
All right. You know what? You go for it.
Oh yeah. Follow us on the internet. It's at OHOBC pod. We have great memes that we share on Twitter, mostly some really good ones this week. Some of which we will get to coming up in the show, and hopefully not get copyrighted like we did last year, but we'll get to that. I am joined by my co-host Jordan, who turns out is a much better Mario Kart driver than I am.
I don't know. That remains to be seen. You just went a little too early. You pulled a Pato Award on Joseph Newgarden. I really thought you would have learned, but that's okay. I am joined by someone who will be doing the entire rest of the episode in the Count Orlok voice, Richie Flores.
Welcome to the show.
Fetch me a seltzer water from the refrigerator. It's the labored breathing.
You got to get the labored breathing. Yeah, it's like
I haven't seen it yet, by the way, but what I've heard is that the breathing is really something.
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's like a mix between Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows with the labored breathing of Darth Vader, and you got it.
Okay. All right. That's a really good comparison, actually.
No, I'm not going to be doing the Nosferatu voice the entire time because I do a terrible job, as you just heard. But we'll get to that in a second because, yes, I did go see Nosferatu and I went to go see it by myself on Christmas Eve. We'll get to that.
Nosferatu. Got it.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Ferratu. Okay. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas while we were gone, and they got their presents from Santa Claus that they wanted, including socks. Very important to get socks during Christmas.
I don't know why I told you that before we started the episode. Listen, the people will relate to this, and all I'm going to say about it is that the adult version of Sisyphus, like the readily available, relatable version of the myth of Sisyphus, is laundry. As an adult, it's the laundry and the dishes, because I feel like I'm constantly doing the laundry and the dishes, and I'm always out of socks. I didn't ask for any socks this year. Maybe I should have.
Put it on your list for next year. We only have 360 days to go.
It's never too early.
Anyway, yeah, so Christmas was great. Jordan was in town, so Jordan and I got to hang out for a little bit. We were originally going to go hit the track for a rematch. Unfortunately that did not, the timing did not work out as well.
Fortunately, there were just too many people. There were just so many people in that region of town on a Saturday night, which I guess makes sense now, like looking back on that, like, Saturday night at like 7 p.m. You're like, oh yeah, of course people are gonna be out. We roll up at like 6:30, right, to the track, and we get there and they're like, hey, we just had a private party walk in and there will be no races until 10:30. I was like, wait a minute, that's 4 hours from now. Not even one. Like, there's not even 2 open spots. Like, can we just race with the kids' birthday party? Like, what's the deal? That was not a thing. And then we tried to go to bowling next door, ridiculously overpriced bowling, by the way. And they were like, "Hey, we don't have any lanes for 3 hours." It's like, well, that's 1 less hour, but that's still not going to solve the problem. So we just went to their weird half equivalent of Dave and Buster's and played arcade games until we ran out of tokens. And Richie got a prize. I got a prize too, but I ate it because it was candy. And in case you can't hear it, it's a button that says no in like 15 different tones of voice that is going to make me probably quit the show early. Yeah.
Why did you give me this toy? Why did you do that?
Because I know you're going to have more fun with it than me. That's the point.
Yes.
I have party
Actually-
poppers. We're good. No, dang it. I still have birthday party poppers. So maybe I'll light a couple off for the 50th. Just at random intervals.
Payback for my button. Every time Jordan and I disagree from time to time on the program, and every time we disagree, I'm going to hit the button.
Yeah, and I'm going to shoot off an indoor firework. So we're even.
Even. I have a couple of my gifts here. I came with props. As I have this. Okay. Oh, even that one. Ooh, sassy.
Oh yeah, sassy. That one had some sass to it.
Of course.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
The problem is I don't know how many discs are in this.
4.
Oh God. How am I supposed to sleeve this thing? That's why it's not opened yet, because I don't know how I'm supposed to sleeve it.
Let me grab, because I have my I have the Speak Now one that I think has 4 discs in it, and it's a mess, let me tell you. But yeah, sleeving a 3 or a 4 LP, nightmare hour.
Yes. Go ahead. You can. I'll keep talking while you go get your thing. So yeah, I have. So this is 4. The other one I had a problem with sleeving is I think 1989 Taylor's version. That's 3, and so is the Folklore Long Pond. That one is also 3, and that one's got a lot in it. And both of those were super hard to sleeve. I think because 1989 is like a fold out. So that one's like that one.
This is literally only 3. Is red 4? I don't know. Anyway, but like I have one in the back. I have one in the back. I have one in the middle. I have one in the middle, 2 in the middle, just one in the middle. And then one.
Doesn't even know where it is.
Figure it out. I don't even know where it is. It's got to be inside here. Yeah. It's got to be. Oh, it's in. Yeah, it's in one of the things. Anyway, yeah. 1, 2, and there's a third one in there somewhere that I can't get to. But protect your vinyl, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, and which is why mine is still sealed until I figure out how I want to sleeve it and display it correctly. And then we have that. And I also have this too, which you also have as well, I believe.
I did. It didn't make it back with me because it didn't fit in my suitcase because I only brought a carry-on. The vinyl made it back because it could go in my backpack, but the book just missed out because I had one too many sweatshirts, and that was what did it. Yeah.
Next time you can. Next time you visit, you can.
I'm like I know where it is, and I can plan space for it. I wasn't planning on receiving that, so I did not plan space for it.
Right.
My parents waking up at 6 a.m. to go to Target in the Arizona cold, which is maybe not that cold, but like cold, to wait in line with all the other Swifties to be there on release day so that they could get both of those things is crazy. And I appreciate them for doing that because I didn't even do that for myself. I think I maybe had to work, but like I didn't do that for myself.
Right.
There's no way. And the vinyl, I guess, were hard to get their hands on. The book, they still have those books if you go
Yes,
to
they have
Target.
plenty. They have
They
plenty.
still have those books, but the
I was at
vinyls
Target.
were a little harder to get.
Yeah, I was at Target a couple days ago, and they have like a still whole display. But vinyls were gone.
I got this.
Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky. It's the RB19. You can't tell really. I mean, the scale of it. It's large. It's like a 1/10 scale remote control car. I haven't taken it out or taken it for a spin yet because it's been raining here and I don't want it to like fry the battery or anything. But that's gonna be wall decoration temporarily. And then I also got a fun pair of sunglasses, which I think I sent you a picture of me in. They're the Margot Robbie like Barbie sunglasses from the start of the movie where she's in that like striped bikini top. Yeah, those are solid. Those will be coming to championship season with me because it feels like there's always a sunglasses day for the team. So we'll just have to flex on them a little bit.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So yeah, good Christmas for the pair of us here on the program. Now the story I also would like you to tell for the viewing public is the story of how you got you had a battle with Poseidon.
Yeah. Poseidon's revenge, let's call it. I really don't even know where to start because it's still such a vivid memory that I feel like I need to grab a poncho. If those of you who are listening are unfamiliar, Disneyland and Disney World both recently changed the theming of one of their rides, formerly known as Splash Mountain, into it's the Princess and the Frog movie themed. It's now called Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's a great ride. It's a great movie, first of all. My parents had not seen it, so they weren't able to like fully take in all the little details and stuff, but I was like looking around the line, like trying to see all the little things and like read the stuff on the walls, like just having a good time because I really like that movie. When they changed it from Splash Mountain, the rumor among the community is that this is a water ride. It's a log ride. And the rumor was that they raised the water level, which would be more fun because it, kind of makes it float a little bit more. It also makes a bigger splash. And there are several notable drops on this ride. The one at the end, I believe, is 50 feet, which feels like a lot. So we brought ponchos, right? Because we went on the old version of the ride last year and got fairly wet, I guess. But we brought ponchos because we were like, we're planning on going on this ride, and it's going to be December at night because we usually do it at night before we leave, so that you don't have to be walking around with like wet pants all day because that sucks, or like wet socks. We're like, we should be good, right? We should be good. We realized about halfway through the day, it's probably about 2:00, that we weren't going to be able to fast pass. So we weren't going to be able to skip the line for this ride. So we get to thinking, we're like, it's a little bit warm and kind of sunny out right now. Like, why don't we just go do it while the wait's really not that bad? We'll knock it out in the middle of the day and then we don't have to worry about not being able to do it. Cause I really wanted to do it, even though realistically we knew we were going to get wet. So we're walking over there and the first omen comes in the form of, there were really like 3 horsemen of the apocalypse with this ride. So the first omen is that we get back there to the bathrooms. Everybody decides they're going to take a bathroom break before we go because we don't know how long the line is going to be. And my dad comes back and he said, I just saw a bunch of people in the men's restroom, like a bunch of guys in the men's restroom that were putting their socks under the air dryer, like the hand dryer, for the bathroom. He's like trying to dry them out and like saw one guy like turn his shoe and like water came out. You're like, oh, that's probably a really bad sign. And my mom comes out of the bathroom, says she saw people in the women's bathroom doing the same thing, but like trying to dry jackets, like all kinds of stuff. this is the closest bathroom to the ride, so this is going to get the most carnage off of it. But we are seeing people coming off of the ride with fully wet clothing. So that was the first omen. The second omen was there were people that were handing off ponchos to other people in line, right? Like just recycling them, which like is a good thing to do, right? You're not just going to take it and then throw it away because it doesn't really make sense. But people were actively seeking a poncho from a stranger, that like a wet poncho that had just come off the ride, and they were like, screw it, I'll take it. People were actively seeking them and people were actively giving them. The third horseman of the apocalypse, let's make it an even 4. The third horseman was the people that got on ahead of us were literally in hefty trash bags, like black trash bags with holes cut out for the legs, right? So the trash bag was over and the drawstring part was up around the neck, which like is really smart, right? Because that's where you don't want water getting in, is there, because that'll get through your clothes. So they had the drawstring part here, and then they had cut a hole open for the bottom, which was kind of smart. But they had no arms, right? Because they're just in black trash bags. Like if people are that desperate, this has to be bad. And the fourth horseman of the apocalypse was that when we walked up and they were like, hey, how many people are in your party? And we went 3. They said, okay, rows 1 through 3. Row 1. Okay, front row in the water ride. And that was the point at which it was over, realistically. Like, regardless of what happens, I was in row 1. It was over. It was over for me. So you get in, you step in the boat, and there's literally like puddles of water in the boat. Like, this is about to be bad. We get going. The first drop is really not that bad. The first like little drop, you're like, okay, we're good. We're safe. You get to kind of practice like bracing yourself against the boat and like trying to keep your poncho down so that like stuff doesn't, you kind of lift your feet up a little bit so you don't get flooded. You're like, oh, this can't be that bad. The second drop, this is the one I was not expecting because it's not the big one. There's one in the middle. And this one, we had a full like 6 people in the boat, but we go down this thing and I think we're safe because the water starts moving away from the boat, like as it does, you like splash into it and the water moves away from you. And then Poseidon himself created and rose a wave up over the front of the boat that fully soaked me in the face. I was dripping. My face was dripping to the point where like I could go like this and like throw water off of it. I could barely see because there was water in my eyes. I'm supposed to be enjoying this part of the ride where you're like going through the little caverns and like seeing the characters from I couldn't see anything. It's like, this is horrible. Everyone was screaming. People were screaming, like just realistically because of how wet it was. And then you get to the last drop and it's really like kind of game over at that point because there's nothing you can do. You drop 50 feet. It's coming up over the top of the boat and it's gonna come up over the sides. Like, there's nothing. Poseidon himself dunked on all of us. It was really something. It was a full gift from the god of the sea that said, I am power and you are not. Thanks for riding, come again. It was fun though. I would recommend it. Just be aware you will get wet. That's not a joke. That's not a joke.
That entire story has led me to believe that I should never ever step foot on that ride.
If you ever go there with me, we're going on that ride.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mostly just because I want to see what's gonna happen, but just so we're clear, if you go with other people, if you go with other people, your itinerary is your itinerary. If you go with me, I will be budgeting time for that ride into the schedule.
I loved the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios. That's fun.
Oh, it's another level on that. It's another level. You don't even get that wet on the Jurassic Park ride.
No, yeah, you really don't. I mean, like you get a nice little, like spritzing, a nice little spritzing, sure. and then you can walk out and dry up when you're walking around the park and go again.
No. This was being waterboarded by a mythological creature. Yeah.
Unreal.
And then your pants are just wet, which is like not fun because I was walking around with like one wet left shoe, and then like my butt was kind of wet like for a little while after that. I'd be like
Well, here's the
checking
thing.
like
Here's
back
the
here.
thing.
You're like, oh, it's
We
light.
have been prepared for this because everywhere we go, we get poured on with rain for
It's
the most
true.
part. So
That's true. Every time we've seen Julian Baker play guitar, we've been poured on.
yes.
Those two things have to be related.
So what you're saying is, do not go to Disneyland on the same trip that we're seeing Julian Baker.
Yeah, I mean, to be safe, you should just make sure that Julian's not even in the state of California. Otherwise, you never know.
That's so true. We're gonna find out when we go. Because I also have a theory of the case, which is every time I go to Chicago, it also rains, and so we're going to test that theory coming up.
That's true. So far, that's been true. If we can really prove those things and like connect the Venn diagram together, which like events that it rains at is like us seeing Julian Baker and Richie going to Chicago, and then there's that little circle in the middle of us seeing Julian Baker in Chicago that's still rain, but like we could add to this one.
That's
Yeah.
true. Anyway, I'm glad you had a great time. Seemed fun. I've never been to Disneyland. I think I told you that many times. So it's on the docket to do at some point in the future. No idea when. Who knows? But at some point, I'll get around.
We'll
to
get
doing
there. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year for SDCC manifesting.
it. Very true. Very true.
It's
Oh,
hot in the summer though. We've only been like really once in the summer in
mhm.
recent memory, and it's
Right.
warm standing
Mhm.
outside in those lines. Like December, it gets busy, but it's
Right.
way easier to wait outside if it's not a billion degrees. So
That's so true. That's very true. All right, let's move on to my favorite part of the week, which was abandoning my family on Christmas Eve. Can you believe I did that?
yeah, you've been talking about wanting to go see this movie for like months.
So I abandoned my family on Christmas Eve before 8 o'clock to make it out to the AMC theaters, Dolby Cinema, in a completely packed theater, not a seat to be had. I sat next to two strangers on my left and my right, and went to go see Nosferatu on opening night. And as you said, we've been joking about this for seemingly months ahead of time. How excited I was to see this movie, and it is not often. I think I put this. I think I may have told you or put it in my review or something or tweeted out or something. And I was like, it's not often when you go see a movie with such high expectations and those expectations are met. And this movie crushed those expectations out of the ballpark. Grand slam, game over. It was so good. Completely blown away with the movie. Because and you've seen Dracula, right? You've seen some form of the story of Nosferatu and Dracula on screen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I
here's
think I
the
read the
problem.
novel at one point. Very
Yeah,
dry. Yeah.
I remember reading it in college. When I say reading, I just read the cliff notes. Back on track. It's like a tiny book too. It's not that big of a book. It's like 200
No.
pages. Still didn't read it.
Okay, but you're the resident audiobook enthusiast here of the two of us, so that makes sense.
Well, yes, but yeah, that is true. That is true. I was talking with somebody too, which is like I just don't read fiction, but I don't like reading fiction. Anyway,
Okay.
digress. So for a story that has been told on the big screen half a dozen plus times, if not more, over the course of over 100 years, and a story where you know how the movie ends, right? That's the epitome of a great piece of film and a filmmaker who knows exactly what they're doing is in a movie like this, which is meant to be scary, it's meant to be creepy, and you know the ending, and you're still like anxious the entire movie. You're still I wasn't all that scared, but I was like super anxious the entire movie and just in awe of the entire 2-hour runtime. And I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. We'll go see it again. And whenever it comes out on Blu-ray, I am buying it on the first day it comes out.
Of course.
My favorite movie I saw in theaters this year, I think, even topping
Wow.
Challengers. Yeah.
All right. It is, like you said, it's kind of impressive to me that for a movie and a story that's been around that long, that there's still people finding new angles and new ways to present it and new things to say about it. I like that. I always like the sort of innovation in that way.
And it's Bill Skarsgård is terrific. We were joking about his voice earlier, but he's really, really good. Um, and the whole cast is great. Lily
He's
Rose
good in
Depp is good.
every monster movie he's ever been in. He's
Yes.
been remarkable.
Yeah, he's the new somebody compared this. He's the new Bela Lugosi because he was played Pennywise and then he's an Orlok as well.
He's
And Primus.
he's like Doug Jones, right? He's like this
Yeah.
generation's Doug Jones.
Yes, that's it. That's also a good comparison. Um,
I
so
had to
anyway,
Google to
yeah,
make sure I got his name right. I was like, it's Doug. It's not James, right? It's Jones. I like Googled it and I saw his face. I was like, that's the guy.
that's him. So yeah, the entire cast is great. And I was absolutely blown away. And I can't wait to see it again. So
We
hopefully
almost
you
went
get
to see it. We almost went on Christmas Day, but we checked all of the showtimes and stuff. For whatever reason, in our local theater, they were really only putting it in like the smallest theaters. They were
yeah,
trying to save the big screens for like the Lion King, the
right.
30,000th live action remake or whatever. So we couldn't find any seats for, I mean, in general, but like definitely not for 3 people together. So we
Right.
didn't end up going. I was maybe gonna go today. Unexpectedly had to work today, and the showtimes didn't line up with the break in the middle of the day for me. And we leave on Thursday, so we'll see. I will post an update on the social. How about this? I'll post an update on the socials if I get a chance to see it before this episode comes out on Friday.
Right. Okay, that's a good. Yeah, we need your full review. Check Jordan on Letterboxd for
Mhm.
more information.
Yeah, my Letterboxd
Um,
sucks. Don't follow me. I was going through it. I'm like, I really only saw like cheesy action movies this year. It was like Hitman, The Fall Guy, Twisters, Carry On. It's like, what was I doing this year? Following Glenn Powell, I guess. The Glennaissance.
like Glennaissance.
Glennaissance.
Yeah, you only had like one movie that you put up on there the entire month of December.
I really just wasn't watching them.
Slacker.
I've been busy. I've been working. I've been on that grind, my friend. The grind never stops. Making that money
Hashtag.
so I can buy Christmas presents for my family.
Gotta make that money. All right.
I sound like a coal like a worker in a coal mine. It's like I have to provide Christmas for my family. It's like, no, you don't. like I'm like just buying them things to wear to the Peach Bowl game. I'm like, whatever. I have to give Christmas to my kids. I am a single, no pets. It's fine. But I don't know why that was. I got like possessed by.
It was like it was like Bob Cratchit over here trying to provide for
Literally,
Tiny
I'm
Tim.
like, should I give Bob Cratchit a raise? Should I order Tiny Tim's family a turkey? You lad, what day is it? Fine, whatever. I'm setting off a firework.
Did it go? I didn't see it. I can never see it. Like
It doesn't ever. It let off a couple little streamers. It's not very visible. It's not very visible on camera
yeah.
because like literally fire off, but whatever. Here's one red streamer.
One red streamer, a lowly red streamer. Anyway, go see Nosferatu. It's great. Leads me to my next question: vampires or zombies?
With respect to what? Like, which is scarier? Which is more Like,
Open-ended question. This is a conversation. You can.
scarier for me, I think, will always be zombies because I feel like it's more possible. I don't know, but like I recall, like it was only a couple years ago, right? Like the zombie trope, like Night of the Living Dead, right? Like if you go way back to that,
Mhm,
like zombies were always like, oh, whatever, like they just shuffle around and like you could totally like escape. It's if there's a lot of zombies together that it becomes a problem. But then when you started to get to like modern media where you had things like The Walking Dead or
mhm,
even like World War Z, which like objectively was kind of a bad movie, but like we saw them run. You saw zombies
mhm,
run on screen. You were like, oh, that's new and horrifying.
mhm,
And I feel like it's more possible. And then you get to, The Last of Us and things like that, where it's not necessarily a zombie, but it's like a mutation and it's
mhm.
a real fungus that exists in our world and you start to be scared about it.
Yes. Yes, that's a great point.
Yeah, I'm like if I go into a dark castle in Transylvania, in Romania, in Transylvania at night by myself in some flowy white nightgown with a candelabra, if there's a vampire, that's on me. Like, obviously. There's one that lives there.
I let's see, which is scarier for me is it depends on the adaptation.
Mhm.
Like you said, it really depends on on the adaptation and we're watching. I'd say um probably zombies are maybe scarier, I think. Cause
I think
like they
vampires sometimes make for cooler they obviously make for better, like, period pieces and, like, cooler, like, visual media in some aspects
Mhm,
because there's lots of different settings you can put them in, and and we're not talking about Twilight here, ladies and gentlemen, just shove off with that, that's not real. Um, but like, the Dracula archetype of a vampire that, like, is just a little bit unnatural enough that you're like, "Something's off about this."
mhm,
And then you find out that, they're sort of undead within limits and, like, whatever else. But
mhm.
that's always been the creepy factor for me with vampires is, like, they're close to us, but there's something that's just a little bit uncanny and a little bit off about it.
That's so true. Vampires could walk amongst us and you wouldn't be able to tell. Or go,
Right, except
like
they sparkle. This is the skin of a
vampire
killer, Bella.
Vampire Diaries, for example, which I love. I love Vampire
That's true.
Diaries.
That's a good point. I forgot about, like, TV vampires.
I love Vampire Diaries, What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm.
So I
What We Do
love
in the Shadows,
watching.
I think, is more that's more like archetype vampire, right? Like the Baron, you're like, that's not a thing.
I love. Speaking of Doug Jones,
Yeah,
That's Doug Jones.
that was a good one. Yep, we could cycle that back. Yeah.
um. So I love watching vampire stuff more than I do watching zombie stuff for the most part. I think.
I think there've been like a handful of zombie movies that have like really scared me. Like Quarantine when I was a kid was
Mm.
very, very scary. I remember like hiding behind family members as we were all watching that movie, like with the lights on, and I don't know how old I was, probably like 10 or something, so scary. Um, Vampires have always been creepy and like eerie, but not so much in like a jump scare in your face
Right.
way, usually in horror. So I think they're used very differently.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. 28 years later. Is that what it's called? Is that
I
coming out
think
this
so.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming out shortly. I think sometime in the next few months it's coming out. Jodie
Mhm.
Comer's in it, so Jordan and I will probably be seeing it.
Yep. Jodie Comer's taken me to places I would never go with a gun. The Last Duel.
I've read some people who are trying to reclaim The Last Duel as actually being good.
It was not. I saw it. I personally saw it. Not that I'm a good critic of anything, but my god, it was not. It was not. It was fine if you want to talk about like did we get period accurate jousting armor? Sure. But like the rest of it, some of that was like slightly traumatic to see on screen. By the way, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this. I just came here for Jodie Comer. I'm feeling really attacked.
Let's see. I'm trying to look and see. Oh, it's got an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes and a
I don't
3.7 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So people seem to
but
like it.
those are the same people that are rating things like The King's Speech, you know?
I like the
They're
King's Speech. Don't knock the King's Speech.
that's the
That was
Green
a
Book
strong-
crowd. That's the Green Book crowd.
It's the Conclave people. You're
Thank
right.
you. There you
Yes.
go. Yep.
Yes. See?
It is. That's the Conclave crowd.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know how I feel about Conclave?
Conclave is brat, though. Charli XCX said so herself.
She did. Yes. Can we talk about that for just a moment? That
Yeah.
people found Charli XCX's Letterboxd account.
It was not okay. It was not well hidden. Her username is literally "It's Charli BB." Like, you're using your own song lyrics, girl. Like, it's fine. They found her on Letterboxd, and like she actually gives halfway decent. Like, I agree with the things that she said for the most part, except what she said about Conclave, which I haven't seen yet, and may not have plans to do so. But I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, make up your own mind, y'all. Like you can, yeah, make up your own mind.
Make up your own mind, just not about Conclave.
That's
what we're about here on the show, but not about Conclave.
Yeah. Let me read some of her reviews here. We have Honora, in which she said, Mikey, mother effing Madison, so true. A complete unknown reviewed, there were a lot of songs in this.
Those are the kind of reviews that I'm here for. It's the ones that are like that, where it's like, wow, there's a lot of singing in this.
Challengers, 5 stars. Was so amped after watching this, I ended up going out till 5 a.m. with Harrison and then was super hungover for the Met. Worth it, though.
There you go. A relatable celebrity.
That's great. I'm excited to keep seeing what Charli has to say about movies. I want to see what she had to say about Nosferatu. I'm excited to see.
Do you think you think Charli XCX went to see Nosferatu? Probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably. Yeah, that does feel right. If we were talking about somebody like Billie Eilish, absolutely. I think that's up her alley. Katya, we already know Katya went.
Yes.
I was like, there are some celebrities that for sure that's already been seen. I don't know.
Oh, wait, we got it. We got it. Yes.
Oh, we got it.
Here it is. Yes. Nosferatu, 5 stars.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wow. There is so much I love about this movie. Some fave things. The shot of the black umbrellas in the rain on the cobbled street. The way tears looked falling down people's faces. Lily Rose Depp contorting. Pretty much anything Lily did, actually. Shadow of the hand moving across the city. Willem Dafoe. Isaac Newton name dropped. The overall symmetry every time a door, window opened. Shot of Nick walking down the pathway at night. Aaron Taylor Johnson blood throw up on coffin moment. General sound of breathing throughout the movie.
Notepad in the theater for this.
Seemingly, she's got I just really loved it, and I'll probably watch another 2 times this month. Go off, Robert Eggers. Good job, Charli. I agree wholeheartedly.
Hey, from the minute they said there was Willem Dafoe and 2,000 rats, I was sold.
Willem's great. Willem was getting some crap from the internet about his performance. He was great.
Willem should never be getting heat from the internet. By the way,
I agree.
That's Willem DeFriend.
Willem DeFriend, I like that.
That's Willem DeFriend.
Did you come up with that?
I will Willem defend him with my life. Bad reviews of Willem Dafoe talking to me like the Green Goblin mask.
That's a good one. I like that one. All right. What else do we have? Oh, Pop-Tarts. Happy Pop-Tart Bowl, everybody. This is, again, Jordan and I's favorite time of year because we get some great memes. Now, I forgot to pull up my favorite. So while I'm talking over this video, if you can pull it up, because we shared it in our DMs, it's the one where the strawberry Pop-Tart is being lonely in the stands. That particular one, if you want to pull that up. Por favor.
Find it. Oh, I have a copy pasta on our Twitter.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
It's in our
So while you're
DM.
looking for that, I'm going to talk over the video. Okay. So we had
Okay.
and I can't play the audio because last year we got popped for it, but you can
True, we
see it
did.
there. There's cinnamon roll Pop-Tart. After Iowa State won the Pop-Tart Bowl, he is going into the toaster with the "Follow Your Dream" sign. There he goes. He's getting toasted, and out he comes. So MVP Rocco Becht can walk up and take a piece of the cinnamon roll Pop-Tart, which was chosen by Rocco Becht, the MVP of the Pop-Tarts Bowl. There he is, taking a big old slice out of the poor cinnamon roll Pop-Tart. That goes to the winner of the Pop-Tarts Bowl, including a trophy that has a toaster built in.
I have the picture, I think.
Okay, got it.
Hold on.
Share.
Oh no. Okay, hold on.
She lost it.
I don't know how to do. I'm not
If
this.
you,
I'm not this dungeon master. I don't know how to do this.
yeah, if you go to where it says present on the bottom there,
Okay.
you can share your screen.
Oh my! It's saved as a web page file. Hold on. I got
That's
this.
that's not
Need to
right.
log in. Hold on. I'm locking in.
Jordan is our Gen Z correspondent on the show, and apparently has no idea what she's doing.
I don't. Well, I don't usually
This is great.
present on. I don't usually present on the show. I wasn't ready to give a seminar today.
Or
Why won't
you
I
can
let me
just
do it? I'm gonna text.
or
it
you
to
can
you.
just send me the link. You can send me the link to it, the tweet.
No, I
and I can pull it up.
literally have the picture, but it won't let me do anything.
Amazing. This is
gonna be good for the people listening. I'm so sure.
our preparation work is incredible on this show. It really is.
I'm not usually the stage manager here.
Okay, here we go. Jordan has sent me the picture.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it up here. Oh, is it not gonna let me do it that way? Sometimes
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It wasn't just
Hang on.
me.
No, yeah, it's not you, it's me.
Vindication.
All right, it's not gonna work, but there's a great picture of the strawberry Pop-Tart from last year who we sacrificed.
the eaten
Yes.
disease looking destroyed corpse of last year's strawberry Pop-Tart watching from the stands.
Right.
What in the I mean, what fresh horror is this? Excellent, by the way. Excellent, and I love it, and we should keep doing it, but that's
Mhm.
not at all what I expected the aesthetic of the Pop-Tarts Bowl to be.
Again, I think we said this last week too. It should be the national championship game or be in the college football playoff because it is the
It
best.
should.
It's the only bowl game I give a crap about. Truly. I don't
Other
give
than
a
maybe
crap.
like the Duke's Mayo Bowl that year that they said the winning coach would get like either dunked in it or like had to eat it. Cause
Yes, that's great.
I feel
Yeah,
like that's weird with mayonnaise, but I
right.
would watch that. Yeah.
The Cheez-It Bowl was great a few years ago too because they had the big Cheez-It that you could
Mhm.
like that was edible or whatever. So that was great too.
Yeah,
But other than that,
they used to have real oranges in the Orange Bowl, but they took all our fun away. So
that's right, they did. Silly.
the Pop-Tarts Bowl, I will say, ranks very highly on branding for me because they had the sidelines, they put sprinkles
Right.
on the white lines on the field. Incredible. And they wrapped the goalposts in Pop-Tarts foil, like the wrapper.
Uh-huh.
I mean, these are little things, but my goodness, does it make a big difference on like the presentation of it? Because you look at
Yeah.
any aspect of that and you're like, it's the Pop-Tarts Bowl. It should be a
Yes.
college football playoff game. I agree with you.
And there's before the game, they had the Pop-Tarts mascot like rip off their like packaging,
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah, they like ripped open their foil packaging to reveal what they were. There were Pop-Tarts in the press boxes. There was like, I think there was an altar of strawberry outside that had like a bunch of
Yes,
little
it
prayer
was.
candles around it. And like people were leaving offerings to strawberry from last year, dead strawberry.
The sideline reporter dressed up in a Pop-Tart costume.
Mm-hmm. All of it. All of it is so fun.
Incredible.
That is make that a college football playoff game.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree. While we're talking about the memes, we got one more that I want to share because I saw this earlier today, and it's just we're into 2025 now, but we'll never get old. I put this in there. I don't know if you clicked the link or not, so this will be a little bit of a surprise.
Oh no, I've seen it.
Okay.
I feel like we've talked about it. I
We
really do.
have talked. We have.
Maybe
Yeah,
this
we have.
was my vision though. Maybe this was my vision.
So I'm gonna play it again just because it's so good, which is Madam Web, our favorite movie of 2024.
It's my favorite, at least.
Um, somebody tweeted this out. They were watching Madam Web on a plane, and they just tweeted out the entire scene where she has a Pepsi can in her hand for the entire scene, and she doesn't open it the entire time.
And she
Dakota
keeps getting
Johnson.
close. That's the thing, though. She keeps acting like she's gonna open it. Like they're zooming in.
The fidgeting to open it and never does.
And literally never opening it. We've talked about this before. I'm like
Yes, we
pretty
have.
sure. I'm convinced that it's because they only set dressed one Pepsi can. So like you can't open this because we only have one and we don't know how many takes we're gonna need. And it's such an awkward, like still fiddling with it. And this is the part where
so
they don't say Peter Parker. Yeah. But it's like such an awkward grip too. Like, why are you holding it like a Lego?
She still got it. Why is she still holding the can?
Oh no. And this whole thing is the most socially awkward scene. I felt really visible here.
She's
still holding it. Like, you didn't tell her she could put that down. It's not necessary for the scene.
It's not.
It wasn't necessary in the first place, but it's certainly not necessary here.
No. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if we ever got a true reasoning as to why she never opened it from her or somebody else, but truly one of the greatest moments in cinema history.
I do think if we could ask the cast and crew of Madam Web like one question, I would want it to be that. That's like why was there it's what the Pepsi branding? You got killed. Somebody got killed by a falling S in Pepsi. You're like, what? How much were they paying you? They were bankrolling the movie.
So true. One more Charlie XCX review because I forgot to mention it. 5 stars for Conclave. Effing fabulous.
No, Charlie, you're doing so good, and now I don't know.
Oh,
if I can trust you.
Did she do Madam Web? Let's see if she did Madam Web. Here we go. I'm gonna look back and see if we got Madam Web. Okay. That's
how active is she?
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot on here. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Which of Charlie's friends bribed her to get Letterboxd is what I want to know.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas is just hair goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, come on, please, Charlie. If you give us
one of her favorite films is Charlie's Angels, which is great because she's Charlie, but like that's also objectively a really good movie.
Does not. It appears that there is no review for Madam.
No. Damn. Oh yeah, she's been really active.
Dang.
Let's see what Charlie had to say about your favorite movie.
Oppie?
Yes.
I watched that movie again last week. So good.
Can I not see what her review of something is?
Yeah, I don't know if right here. I got it. Yeah, it says like this because they were all just gossiping about bombs.
There you go.
It's true. It's the conclave of the atomic age.
Oh boy. Liked this.
All right, we can move on and wrap up the show. We got one more story to tell.
Dude, I don't even know. I'm not following along anymore. I'm just scrolling through Charlie's Letterboxd. What are we talking about?
It's great. Please, now, this entire show is just story time with Jordan because you have some great stories this week that are too good. You got roasted by a video game.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, it was the first time, and I really don't think it'll be the last. To be so honest with you, I got well, I think we talked about on the show that I got a PS5 and I've been playing college football. And then I got it was recommended to me by a coworker whose opinion I greatly value and trust, and we like a lot of the same things. It's like, okay, I'll take your word for it. I got Elden Ring on a Black Friday deal. It was like $20. And I got Elden Ring. It's part of a collection of games that are notorious for being really, really hard. So if you've
Mhm.
ever heard of Dark Souls or you've heard of Bloodborne, those are like in the same family. Bloodborne was almost like too hard. I didn't play it, but people literally dunked on it because it was like, this is just too hard for the sake of being too hard. Like, it's not fun. Um, I tried to play Dark Souls when I was younger. It's not for me. I don't like games where you just constantly get dunked on constantly and you get killed a lot and then you have to just do the same things over and over again. I don't like those kind of games. I want to be able to linearly progress through the story
Mhm.
and have the challenge be equal to the level at which your character is at
Like
that point in the
finding
story.
pigeons in the city of New York.
Right, that hey, that was kind of hard for a moment. Those little buggers can move. Um But a game like I don't know, even another open world game like Fallout, right? Like Fallout 4 or Fallout New Vegas, like some of your first like challenges are scaled to your skill level. So
Mhm.
you can go through the main story and follow where it wants you to go and do the missions, but you won't get absolutely like one shot destroyed
Mhm.
just for trying. This game is not that. This game gives you really no directions, no like it just kind of dunks you into the middle of an open world and says, "Okay, have fun." And some of the things you can do from the beginning will immediately get you killed. So, right away, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have fun with this. So, I go through the tutorial. I die in 5 minutes because I die in the tutorial, which is probably a bad sign.
That's
but
incredible. I can relate to that though, because
but
that's
I
one
die
of the
in the
things.
tutorial. And I come out of the tutorial and you meet one of your first NPC characters, which is like a non-player. It's just, random, it's a character in the game. Um, and they're giving you a mission. They're like, "Oh, so I see that you've come to, claim the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord," which sounds really funny now talking about it. You're like, "Yes, I will become the Elden Lord." That's stupid. um, I've gotten a little bit into it though. And then they're like, "Well, you can do all these things, but the problem is you're maidenless." I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Why are you're dunking on me personally? I've known you 30 seconds. I just showed up and this blind prophet person took one look at my character in the game that I spent too much time designing and said, 'You're maidenless.'" I was like, "Wait a minute." Personally attacked. And then to make matters worse, I went off and I'm trying all these missions and trying not to die and dying a bunch and getting chased by a dragon, which I didn't mean to do, but I accidentally wandered into an area where there's a dragon and then I had to run for my life. You'll see where this is going. And I run into this area and you hear a voice coming from nowhere. And apparently I had to Google this because you don't know. And I had to like cut down this tree that was actually a person, but like in order to break the spell, you have to cut down the because you hear the person's voice, but you can't find them. So you have to go to this tree, and then it sounds like it's right there, but it's not a person. So you cut down the tree. The tree becomes a person. The person's name is Bach. I kid you not. The person's name is Bach. We do not deserve each other. I'm not messing with this. And at that point, I just turned the game off. He's like, "Hello, my name is Bach." I was like, I'm good. I'm done. Can't do any more tonight. I can't do any more of this. Yeah. I got roasted. I've died a lot. I'm only like level 17, but you have to like keep doing some of the same stuff over and over again to like get points to level up or whatever. So it's one of those games where you have to put a lot of hours like grinding into it.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's my cup of tea. We'll see. Like once I get strong enough to actually go fight some things, like not the dragon, but like actual actual enemies. we'll see how it goes. But I might just go back to playing college football.
I was joking with you that you're probably going to finish Elden Ring before I finish Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've had in my possession for approximately 2.5 years and have yet to finish.
I've heard that one's really good too, though.
It's cool. Yeah. It's just, I don't have the attention span for
my
it.
limited knowledge of it too is like a little bit about the game, but then mostly about where people can mod the game.
Yeah.
And I saw a mod the other day where they put all of the carriages and horses to move at warp speed. So sometimes you would just be walking and get jump scared and get killed
You
by a
sent me that
carriage
one. You
going
sent me that one. Yeah.
30,000 miles an hour. Yeah, and like in cutscenes too, you just get obliterated by a horse. Like that's kind of fun. I would play that. My timer's going off. Hold on.
Oh, yes. Jordan warned me before the show that we would have a pause in the program.
She's good.
Yes. Oh, we're good. Okay, Jordan's back. I thought I was going to have to vamp there and wrap up the
No,
show
we're
with
good.
that.
I just told her to stop. My chicken can cook for another 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, yeah. So that's been the show, everybody. Episode number 50, our celebratory program. But we've gotten to the celebratory episode. So thank you for hanging out with us once again.
And our gift to you is that it's under an hour, so you're welcome.
Under an hour. Yes, indeed. Follow us at OHOBC Pod, wherever you get your tweets and whatnot for all of the memes. Jordan and I have been battling over the header on our Twitter page. It's changed 3 different times this week.
You know, I don't know if you've seen, but like in Sleeping Beauty, there's that scene where all the fairies are like trying to change the color of her dress and like blue, pink, blue. And that's like us changing the Twitter header on each other. Like
It's
I
quite
logged in
fun.
yesterday and it was a grotesque, blown up, low quality 3-pixel image of Max Verstappen. I was like, I didn't do that.
I did, sucker. Bye, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.